Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Friday afternoon Zoom edition. And Bitcoin was humming along until today, and then it's been dropping, and it dropped a little bit more during my prep time. So let's check it out. Go over here to my, let's see, yeah. Bitcoin, make you guys smaller.
42.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to hold, kids. And this might be why. I mean, we've been hearing in the news about this, Ukraine and Russia thing, but Russia's got 100,000 troops on the border now. You guys seeing my news article here?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so this kind of information here, and we're down 4.8%. So this is affecting the overall markets. We talk about this a lot, how as much as we can't stand it, Bitcoin's still tied to the stock market, both viewed as at-risk assets. So, that's frustrating. It's probably has something to do with why we're down today. It's not a big surprise, but still a little frustrating to see it. So that takes away for some of the good news. So I want to talk about this. You guys see my Bitcoin.com article?
Yes.
Yeah.
13 years ago, Satoshi Nakamoto published the first forum introducing Bitcoin. This was posted in our Slack group. You guys might want to check that out. I'll put this in the chat as well. This link. So yeah, chat. And there we go. All right, so I'm not going to read it to you, obviously, but it's kind of cool that it's come so far in 13 years to the point where, it's very influential in my life, obviously, and a lot of yours as well. And we have created this peer-to-peer currency that we can buy and sell things with to some degree. I mean, crypto's better than that, than Bitcoin. I mean, I'll make a large purchase with Bitcoin from time to time, but you don't buy stuff with gold, and that's how I view Bitcoin, kind of like a electronic gold. So anyway, I thought it was worth a minute or two to recognize our birthday. There you go. So I'm going to check out of that. You guys have the link if you want to see it. And then I'm going to look at one more thing about the general market. Okay. See if I can find my Slack. Yeah, there we go. All right, you should be seeing Alan's AAA ambassador post of 12:08 p.m. today, beginning with "Holy crap."
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys aren't on the Altcoin Alert, Slack group, it's worth your while. I check in once a day. I'm not nearly as active as the other ambassadors, and I am one of the AA ambassadors here, but I think I get credit for my Zooms, but because I don't really get on this very much, because candidly they don't really talk about day trading or Altcoin Alert that much, but the other information they share is really valuable. If you're into more long-term trading, swing trading, NFTs, things like that, there's a lot of great information on this Altcoin Alert discussion. And I think it's worth your while to look at Alan's post, how he talks about some of the things we just, I just mentioned about, the US's involvement with NATO and Ukraine, and how that's affecting, the markets. And, do the big whales find out about these things ahead of time so they can plan accordingly? Maybe they do. I think that's Terry talks, or Alan talks about this quite a bit. He does mention Terry Oliver, an excellent chartist. I'm learning from him myself quite a bit. And Terry has a free newsletter. It's worth checking that out if you're if you're so inclined. So I want to check out this post. It's relevant to the short-term market in the next few days and next week or two. So they're projecting a downtrend. I am as well. With that in mind, let's go to the charts. Okay, and here is my, you guys should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
All right, good. So I drew this trend line earlier in the week. I fully expect Bitcoin to get pretty close to this. We're at 42,000. It's not going to hold, I don't think. So it'll probably drop during this presentation below 42. This trend line shows it going down to 39.6. I don't know if it'll go that low. I think it'll test 40, definitely 41. Tonight or over the weekend. So that's something you might want to keep in mind. Almost all my shorts have cleared that I had going, so that's good news. But my longs have been pummeled, so not so good. It's a downside of trading both sides, I suppose. But anyway, and Ethereum looks really similar. It did break through. I had a steeper trend line drawn, and it broke through today, and the 3,000 did not hold. At least it hasn't. It may still bounce back, but wouldn't surprise me if this came down here around 2750 or something like that. So, well, that's a longer and windier summary of current events and the overall market than usual. So anybody else want to chime in before we move over to Altcoin Alert? Wow, okay. I covered it that well, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can find something to trade. Okay, with what we just talked about, going in big on a long position, I think would be well, more risk than I would want to take on. So I'm going to go ahead and preface it so I don't repeat myself. If you're going to take a long position now, go in small, maybe a third to a half of your usual amount, and be ready to buy again. So let me reload this, get the most current information. Start with the AA scores. Looks like we've only got one that's very bullish, and that's Nexo. I looked at this earlier, and it's not traded on exchanges I look at very often. I've heard of this. I think this is a token that represents a sort of a crypto investing or farming yield, that kind of thing. Because I've heard some discussion about it before. It's something I've wanted to check out, but haven't gotten around to yet. Regardless, let's check it out. We'll look at Bitfinex. I'm hearing some background noise.
Okay, why are we looking at Nexo?
It's got a pretty good AA score.
Oh, okay, I missed it. Okay, I just seen all the negatives, so.
Okay. Well. Okay, so Nexo on the day chart, we had a pretty, we've seen this on a lot of coins in the last few weeks. We had a big move in November. Lost most of it, 50, 60%. Made a nice recovery here. And then dropped down again today. So we're down about 50% since the high in the 1 hour. Yeah, pretty big crash from yesterday, 10 a.m. I think we're going to see this pattern a lot. It's down 16%, made up about half and fell again down to that 16% area. Okay, and the 5-minute chart, a lot of horizontal lines, which is usually indicative of low volume. 1, 2, almost a third dip, but we're almost to the SMA line as well. So tread with caution here. 15-minute chart, which, as you know, I like for my alerts. right click, set in the divergence alert. You might want to go to half an hour on some of these instead of 15 minutes, like what I usually do. Just because the market's so uncertain right now. And, we have MACD bullish divergence fired at 1:30 p.m., almost 3 hours ago. I don't think that's, that's in play anymore. So you might want to set another alert for positive divergence. Set your alert and you're good to go. We've got the MFI below the 20 on the 30-minute. The RSI almost below the MFI below the 20, RSI almost below the 30. So yeah, you don't really need you might want to put an alert here on the 20 that's when it's crossing back up. So here's your alert on the MFI crossing up. That means it's recovering. Go for your 20 figure. It's below that right now. And when that fires off, reevaluate. And do something similar for the RSI. When it crosses down, then goes back up above 30. Yeah, so you want to catch this kind of action here, or this kind of action. Those aren't real good examples because it went down after that, but usually, you'll get this. Here's a better example here. It didn't quite go below, but it comes back up. You catch action like this. 5%, that's good stuff for a day trader. So, all right. Yeah, 30-minute charts for alerts when the market is this twitchy. Any comments or questions about Nexo? All right, let's see what else we got. I'm not showing any other very bullish ones. So let's do our long-term sentiment sort. It's been my favorite sort the past few months. Quick recap: sentiment is the word on the street, the Twitter data. What are people talking about online? So this is comparing the last 24 hours to the last 20 days. Hence the name long-term sentiment. There's short-term sentiment as well, and that's within the same day. That's 24 hours compared to 1 hour. But I find this to be the long-term one to be more reliable. So we've got 4 candidates: INJ, Zap, Bluezell, and Ergo. INJ I've heard of, had a big move today. Everything was falling, but this thing was pumping. So that's interesting. Let's check it out. It's on Binance. Okay, on day chart. Yeah, big spike up. It's moving up again. So we had the big all the way up to past $14, down 70% to 4. Reclaimed about half of that, almost to 10. Now it's down to 7. So this one has had a wild ride. Gotta love crypto. So on the 1 hour, yeah, just a big pump the last, pretty much today. I didn't find a news item when I was looking at this earlier. So if anybody knows something about INJ, that might be helpful. All right, so big pump on the 1 hour chart and the 5-minute. Yeah, all the way up to $10 and then down. That's a big move. So it's down 26% in 2 hours. Wow. So I don't know if I'd want to long this. I don't think it's available to short. So I'd probably just put an alert down here as obvious support right around this $5 area. That's probably all the analysis I would do on this. If you want to trade this one, just put an alert on the $5 area, see if it comes back down. It just kind of ignored, this, well, it's a 5-minute chart. Let's, don't always remember to go from the 5-minute over to the 15 or the 30-minute charts for alerts. But we haven't had a bullish one quite a while on this. Yeah, still, even on this chart, you're still looking for around $5, between $5 and $5.15 on an entry point on that kind of alert. And then, yeah, crossing up on 20 for the MFI, crossing up on 30 for the RSI, something like that. Any one of those 4 alerts should get you a good entry if it drops that much. Okay, any questions on INJ? Alrighty then, let's go back. And again, with I forgot to mention this, with the long-term sentiment, we're also looking for some confirmation on one of these other information sources. Like with INJ, we have the very bullish on the long-term sentiment, but we also have bullish on the Elder Impulse Daily, which is a technical indicator. You can hover over this and it'll give you an explanation. I'm gonna have to reload first. Yeah, it combines the MACD and the exponential moving average and things like that. So we've got INJ, we've got Blue Zell as well, which is probably could be a better entry since it's down today. INJ has probably made its move for the moment. Let's look at Blue Zell. I've traded this before, though it's been a while. I think it's on Binance, yeah. All right, on the day chart, it was making a pretty good recovery from its high back in November, 40 cents. Lost 3/4 of that. Now it's up to, was up 21 cents down to about 18, 19 cents now. 1 hour, yeah, just straight red candles since 4 a.m. So this one's dropped, 14% today. Wow, it's just straight down. This is like a pipe. What's the distance between the Bollinger Band? 6%. That's not bad. Sort of like a really long bubble. Looks a little squeezy here, and then just bubbles, and it doesn't really even get close to the SMA line. Just straight down. It's showing some recovery now. We just pumped up above the MFI and the RSI and the 5-minute chart. I don't really see a good support or resistance on the 5-minute chart, on the 15. Yeah, we've blown through all the supports on the 15, on the 30. Your next, some really strong support here right around 17.2 cents. If you want to trade this, maybe do an alert around 17.5 and reevaluate. Do some positive or bullish divergence. So alert here. We're on the 30-minute chart. We could do a crossing up alert on the MFI at 20, crossing up. RSI is almost there now. At 30, you might even want to extend that a little, maybe go 35. So, for example, since we're so close to the 30 already, yeah, I just put this 35 instead, and make it show you that it has some recovery power. All right, I'm going to break away a little bit because this reminded me of a question someone asked on Monday. Somebody was asking me about indicators, if they're lagging or leading, if there are any leading indicators, and I said no, they're very few, if any. But I did some more research on that, and they're more than I thought. I just hadn't really heard of them, which kind of surprised me. Now I haven't used them enough to comment on them intelligently, but I dumped them all on one of my layouts. I'm going to show that to you right now. So, are you guys seeing my SLP Bybit
Yeah.
contract?
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are leading. The STC indicator, forgot what it stands for. This is my favorite, the AO. The AO is the awesome oscillator. It's got to be good if it has the word awesome in it. And then there's a leading oscillator, which just tells you what it is. The OBV, which is on balance volume. I've seen that before in some of my my divergence alerts. So these four right here are all leading, allegedly. The STC I've been using for a while. The other three I only started looking at today. So I wanted to update what I said on Monday. There are more leading ones than I thought. At least they claim to be leading. Whether they work that way or not, something else to be seen. But I have had some success with this STC, so I wanted to use some of these others to confirm. And I had a couple little trades today. It looked pretty good, so we'll see. But don't go jumping in and putting your not investment advice. Definitely if it's just something I've been using today. But you guys want to add some leading indicators to your layouts, you might want to look at these. And if all of this is way over your head and blowing your mind, then stick with the 1, 2, 3 dip. It's a classic and works most of the time. So, all right. Back to Altcoin Alert. We looked at 2 long-term sentiment scores. Let's, I know some of you guys trade leverages, I do quite a bit. I like to short based on this information as well. So we can go do a reverse sort on long-term sentiment and look for tokens that have bearish on both the long-term sentiment and the elder impulse, or at least the elder impulse hourly, but I would like to see both of these bearish before I do anything, and we don't really have any that are qualifying right now. We have YFI. Down 6.5%, it's bearish on long-term and the elder impulse. I have traded this. I think you can short it on, or trade leverage on this on Binance, Bybit, probably most exchanges that have that kind of thing. So let's look at YFI. So we might be too late on this, but if the market continues to go down, this could be a good shorting candidate. On the day chart, that's kind of a mess. We had a big pump on January 3rd to almost $40,000. Lost about half that value. Reclaimed some and down again today. On the 1 hour, yeah, it's looking like all the others we've looked at. Drop 15%. 5 minute. 1, 2. So if you want to go long, it almost hit a third dip. If you want to go short, which is what the information we have in front of us, so you go to your 15-minute chart, and instead of getting bullish divergence, we're looking for bearish divergence and negative divergence. So you can go with that one, or instead of looking for just to go above the 20, we look for it to go up and then back down. So it would be 80 crossing down or 70 crossing down on the RSI. Neither of them are really close to that. So you
A long
might,
looks much better on that.
it actually does. So, Altcoin Alert thinks it's going to go down some more, and it might be right, especially after what we talked about earlier in the Zoom. So, and sometimes we've all seen dip sequences like instead of 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not real common to go to 6 dips, but it does happen. So, yeah, on this one, it does look more like a 1, 2, 3 dip than something you would short. All right, any questions on YFI? Okay. And then another way we can look for shorts is to do kind of a reverse AA score, look for low scores. We've only got 2 that are bearish, and I haven't even heard of these, so I doubt if they're on exchanges that we can short. So we don't really have a good candidate using the reverse AA score. One more sort I do from time to time is social activity. We already looked at INJ and Bluezell. I don't know if I've tried to short. Yeah, the problem is if you go short on this, you have to wait a while before you get something to even look at. So to be honest, I've never done it this way.
Hey, CJ,
Yeah, George.
for your information, yeah, LPT USDT is available on Bybit, and those of us that use that platform could short it potentially.
Okay.
Live peer.
I do have to refresh on Altcoin Alert a lot. You know what? You're right. That's coming back to me now. Thanks, George. So on this, we've got a bearish, and we have a bearish short-term sentiment. It's already down 11%. We've got neutral on these other scores. I'd like to see at least one of these, either long-term sentiment or elder impulse daily or even hourly with bearish, but doesn't really have it. So, but just for fun, let's go ahead and check it out. LPT on Bybit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, on the day, it's only been there for about 2-3 months. Nice movement up though. Big drop, gain half of it back. So big drop today with everything else. 18%. It's ignoring bullish divergence on the 5-minute chart for the most part. Another long kind of squeezy looking bubble. Like I think INJ looked like this a little while ago. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that's they're not reaching the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So about 4 dips there. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Where do we put our alerts? So on the this kind of sort will sometimes point out 1, 2, 3 dips. So that can be valuable as well. Or you could function as if the trend's going to keep dropping and pick up a quick 2 or 3%. So either way, you could probably maybe even make trades on both ends and see which one works the best. All right, on this one we're trying to short, so yeah, you do your alert here for bearish divergence, or up here crossing down on 80, or up here crossing down on 70 on the RSI and the MFI. All right, well, we're over half an hour now. That's about all I have on Altcoin Alert. Went through a couple different sorts and a couple AA scores. Does anybody have anything specific they want to look at on Altcoin Alert, or any questions on crypto generally? All right, you guys are kind of quiet today. Well, then that's all I have for those of you in Carbon. You can stick around for that. That'll be my next Zoom. If you're not in that, not interested in it, that's okay. You can go ahead and check out now. If you're on the recording, I appreciate you watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday or next Friday. Have a good weekend.